Coach Saban has always been brilliant, but he shared his biggest mistake. Did you see it? Before the news, subscribe to the channel and let's move on. There is no denying the legacy that Nick Saban has built at Alabama. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most iconic figures in college football, a name that echoes in the stands. With national titles accumulated like trophies in an impeccable display case, Saban has elevated the Crimson Tide to a level that few programs can even dream of reaching. However, no matter how brilliant a coach's resume may be, there will always be moments when the decisions made leave their mark, those that serve both to teach and to remind us that even the greatest geniuses are human. Saban's recent statement about the biggest recruiting mistake of his career was one such moment of strategic vulnerability. This isn't just a one-off mistake, but something that, in retrospect, seems like a significant blow to Alabama: the loss of Mason Taylor, a tight end who went on to wear LSU colors and become a key part of the Tigers' offense. The New York Jets' pick in the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft brought this episode to light, with Saban bluntly admitting that underestimating Taylor was a colossal mistake. "This is the biggest recruiting mistake we've ever made," Saban said the other day. Those words carry weight, especially coming from someone as meticulous and calculating as he is. Saban is not one to hand out praise gratuitously, so calling Taylor the best tight end we've had in training camp is practically a public admission that Alabama squandered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And what's worse, that opportunity was handed directly to its biggest regional rival, LSU, which knew how to take advantage of the player's talent and turn him into a lethal weapon. The game that will forever be etched in the memory of Saban and Alabama fans was the 2022 matchup when Mason Taylor converted the decisive 2 points that sealed the Crimson Tide's defeat against LSU. The moment was iconic not only because of the final score, but because it represented a kind of poetic justice. Taylor, who could have been leading Alabama's offense, was there on the other side, punishing a team that had let his potential slip away. For Saban, it must have been a bittersweet feeling, watching a player he had evaluated but not signed make all the difference in such a crucial matchup. That misstep serves as a reminder that even at the top of the college football food chain, mistakes happen. They can be small or large, but they all have consequences. In Saban's case, the Taylor mistake was particularly painful because it exposed a flaw in the program's evaluation process. As a coach, Saban has always prioritized building a near-infallible system for identifying talent, but here's proof that not everything can be predicted or controlled. Maybe it was a matter of intuition, maybe a misguided projection analysis. Whatever the reason, the result was a significant setback. However, it would be unfair to reduce Saban's tenure at Alabama to that one misstep. What he built in Tuscaloosa is nothing short of legendary. Since arriving in 2007, Saban has transformed the Crimson Tide into a winning machine, molding a style of play that combines relentless discipline, technical excellence, and a competitive mindset. His teams haven't just won games, they've dominated opponents, redefined standards. The national titles won under his leadership are the clearest proof of that, but the impact goes beyond the numbers. Saban has created a culture of excellence that transcends seasons and generations of players. And that's exactly why acknowledging the mistake with Mason Taylor is so important. Admitting failure, especially in such a competitive environment, demonstrates humility and self-criticism, rare qualities in a coach of his caliber, now a former coach. Saban no longer has anything to prove to anyone, but he knows that the quest for perfection never ends. Every pick, every decision, every player who enters or leaves the program has the potential to change the course of history. And in Taylor's case, Alabama has seen how costly it can be to ignore a raw talent who, in the right hands, can become something extraordinary. The 2025 NFL Draft will be a constant reminder that sometimes the greatest rivals emerge from within one's own flaws. But it will also be an opportunity for Alabama to show that it remains a giant. Now Coach DeBoer. DeBoer, known for his ability to attract elite talent, is already showing signs that he can be a differentiator in Tuscaloosa's recruiting game. The work he's done in the recruiting process is proof of that, especially in the pursuit of five-star defensive back Brandon Arrington, one of the gems of the 2026 class. The young player, considered the best at his position in the country, listed Alabama among his Final Five schools, along with Penn State, Texas A&M, USC and Oregon, all powerhouses in the game, but none with the pedigree of the Tide. The fight for Arrington is emblematic of the kind of battle Alabama will face going forward. It won't just be about winning games anymore, it'll be about continuing to attract the best prospects in the country, even amid an increasingly competitive landscape. But DeBoer appears to be up to the challenge. He's already secured Jordan Edmonds, the second-best defensive back in the country, and now he's eyeing Arrington to form a duo that could redefine college football's secondary defenses. If both men don the red and white uniform, the combination has the potential to create a nearly insurmountable wall for opposing offenses. But what makes this pursuit of Arrington so crucial goes beyond simply filling roster spots. It's about sending a clear message to the world: Alabama is still the ultimate destination for the nation's best talent. Despite a few years without a national title since 2020, the program remains a beacon for those who dream of reaching the top. And Kalen DeBoer knows that to bring the dominance back, he needs to rebuild the empire piece by piece, starting with recruiting. Arrington's announcement is scheduled for July 5th, and until then, the suspense hangs in the air. Will he choose Alabama, or will he opt for another program equally hungry for glory? The weight of this decision is enormous, not only for the player's future, but also for the Crimson Tide's fate. Should DeBoer pull off the deal, he will hopefully be taking a significant step towards cementing his authority as Saban's worthy successor. It's important to remember that Alabama can't simply live on memories. The 2020 title seems far away now, and while Saban has built a solid foundation, it's up to DeBoer to make sure it stays strong. That means not only attracting players like Arrington and Edmonds, but also molding them into a cohesive, disciplined and relentless team, the traits that have defined Alabama under Saban. Recruiting is just the first step. The next will be to transform those individual talents into a collective force capable of once again intimidating the national stage. Meanwhile, college football continues to evolve. Other programs are investing heavily in infrastructure, branding and technology in an attempt to steal Alabama's crown. Teams like Georgia, Ohio State and Clemson have been real hurdles in recent years, proving that the title of best in the country isn't something that comes with a catch-22. For Alabama, the challenge is clear: either they continue to innovate and adapt, or they risk being swallowed up by the new wave of competition. When Arrington announces his decision on July 5th, many eyes will be on him and on Alabama. If he chooses the Tide, it will be a clear sign that the program is a game-changer to be reckoned with, especially given its winning history. And that's what everyone wants now, too. Geron Jones, a young talent from Mission Viejo High School in California, announced that he has received an official offer from the program after a visit from Tide defensive backs coach Maurice Linguist. Under new head coach Kalen DeBoer, Alabama continues its relentless search for athletes who combine skill, speed and potential to continue the program's tradition of excellence. Jones, with his meteoric rise and impressive performance, is exactly the type of player that has the Crimson Nation buzzing with anticipation. Picture the scene: a cornerback like him moving like lightning down the field, closing routes with a speed that leaves opposing quarterbacks hesitant. That's exactly what Jones showed in the 2024 season, lining up alongside Dijon Lee, now a freshman at Alabama and a former teammate at Mission Viejo. The connection between the two is more than a coincidence. It's a sign of the Tide coaching staff's keen eye for chemistry and talent on the field. While Lee is already in the red and white uniform, Jones is emerging as the next name to watch, with an offer from Alabama that puts him on the radar of one of the most passionate fan bases in the sport. Currently rated as a 3-star recruit by several specialized websites, Jones is not just a number or a statistic. His ability in coverage, combined with an instinctive ability to attack the ball, makes him a prospect who can quickly evolve in Alabama's defensive system. Think of names like Kool-Aid McKinstry or Terrion Arnold, recent stars of the Tide secondary who arrived at the program with potential and left as first-round picks in the NFL draft. Jones, with his closing speed and promising physique, has the perfect mold to follow that path, and Alabama's offer is a clear recognition of that. Maurice Linguist, known for his ability to develop dynamic defenders, seems to see the young Californian as a diamond in the rough ready to be polished. Of course, Alabama is not the only program eyeing Jones. Giants like Texas, Tennessee and USC have also extended offers, showing that the cornerback is in the middle of a fierce competition for his commitment. But there's something special about receiving an invitation from the Crimson Tide. It's more than an offer, it's a call to be part of a history that includes 18 national titles, countless All-Americans, and a winning culture that few programs in the world can match. For a young man like Jones, the prospect of playing in Bryant-Denny Stadium in front of more than 100,000 fans chanting "Sweet Home Alabama" is the kind of dream that can turn a recruiting decision into a lifelong mission. With DeBoer, Alabama is in a time of transition, but also of renewal. DeBoer, who has already proven his ability to build winning programs in Washington, brings a modern, aggressive approach to both offense and defense. The arrival of Maurice Linguist as defensive backs coach only reinforces the Tide's commitment to keeping its secondary as one of the most feared in the country. For Jones, joining this system means not only learning from some of the best coaches in the game, but also competing against the best every day in practice. After all, at Alabama, iron sharpens iron, and young talent is molded in an environment where excellence is the only option. Alabama fans, always hungry for victories and proud of their history, are already beginning to dream of the impact Jones can have. Imagine him intercepting a crucial pass against LSU or breaking up a Tennessee play on third down. These are the moments that define careers in Tuscaloosa, and Jones seems to have the talent and mentality to deliver them. His speed and instincts for the ball are exactly what Alabama needs to continue dominating the SEC, a conference where every game is an epic battle. As Jones ponders his future, Crimson Tide Nation waits with bated breath. With Dijon Lee already on the roster and the possibility of Jones joining him, Alabama could be building a cornerback duo that will make opponents tremble for years to come. Let me hear your thoughts. Comment.